Just got two new spinners I am excited to try out. I got the Shell and the Pixel. I am going to get these open and let's see what they're all about. Now that we got the wrapper off, as with all Tenga spinners, they come in this nice casing where it's got three parts to it, okay? So we have the top part, we have that bottom part, and then we have this part. And sometimes people might wonder, what is this part for? Well, what this part is for is so after you're done using this and you've washed it, you can actually put it in here and let it dry because it has that perforated bottom that lets moisture continue to escape. So this is great when you go to put this away to protect it. You can always put the top on and then just leave the bottom off to let it drain and air out. Or if you really wanted to, you could still put the bottom on, but it'll just continue to drain into the bottom, which is excellent when it comes to keeping your toys at proper hygiene. Now, to get both of these open, let's see. The spinners themselves come protected with a plastic wrap around them, which I like to save because it makes it easier to get back into these, especially if you've washed them and they're wet. They also come with their own Tenga lotion in here, which is great stuff. So definitely try that out if you haven't tried that yet. But let's get these open and see what they're all about here. So taking these plastics off, gonna save those for later. Okay, so here we go. We have the Pixel and we have the Shell. They both have that spring mechanism built into the sidewall of them, which gives it some structure. It's still flexible, but it also brings it back into proper shape. And it actually gives you something to hold as opposed to those other ones where it's just like all over the place, right? This gives it some actual structure as you're using it, which is fantastic. Let's take a look real quick. This is your Pixel. Very interesting. So very small, almost saw looking like things, but I promise they're not sharp. They're very soft. But that probably gives some great texture. And it has that, if you notice, that spin all the way down. And that's the one thing about these spinners is that if you don't hold them too tight and you kind of go, they'll naturally try to spin as you're doing that, which adds quite a bit of extra fun, I must say. Let's take a look at this one real quick. The Shell. So this has little shell looking things in here. Kind of reminds me of the brick, but a little bit different. You can see that goes all the way down in there. Some nice texturing. Definitely much friction texturing in there, so that's great. Try this guy out. This one has a little bit less friction because they're smaller against the sidewalls, but it'll be interesting to try this one out as well because it's got that very spin-like design inside of it. But yeah, this is the Pixel and the Shell spinner or Tenga spinner. I'm gonna try these out and I will report back to you my thoughts on the two different patterns. So just tried both and my opinions are this. They both feel great in different ways. One thing I'll say is, so this did feel similar to the brick, but I did really like the texture of this one, the Shell. With the Pixel one, because the Pixels are much more low profile, it does feel like this one gives you more room. So maybe if you're a little bit more of a girthy person, the Pixel one might be for you. But the Pixels also give great texture and that great spin action. So doesn't take anything away from it whatsoever. So compared to the brick and the orange one I have, the Shell and the Pixel are just as good. And I highly recommend them. Lots of fun. Give it a shot.